What is good, peeps? YouTube, Real Talk Boxing. We're back at you again. I have been asked to do a video over my thoughts over Jake Paul being ranked in the WBA as a top 15 cruiserweight after his defeat, his win over Chavez Jr. Now, last I heard, don't you have to be ranked? You have to beat a ranked fighter to be ranked. And I don't know if Chavez Jr. is ranked. I mean, he's been retired for a bit. He's been out of the ring for a while. So there's that. Before I go on, I'm going to say this. It's just like Canelo fans. Um, Jake Paul Jake Paul fans are diehard. And if you speak anything against fighters like Canelo or Jake Paul, people lose their ever loving mind. They don't like it. Um, my honest opinion is it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the cruiserweight division for boxing, professional boxing as a whole. And here's why I say that. Now, has Jake improved the over the past course of 4 or 5 years? Most definitely, most definitely. Um, but the WBA actually ranking him just goes to show you just how far popularity and money can take you. Um, Anybody can be a professional fighter. I remember here locally, man, we used to hold these smokers at this club called Shooters, and there was guys there that fought professional that literally over the weekend, they will go get their professional boxing license so they can get in and make a little money. I've seen it. If you don't believe it, then that's all you. Anybody become professional. Um, and to me, that's a little bit disrespectful. Like, you have people that start fighting at a young age. And listen, boxing is dangerous. Boxing is a very, very dangerous sport. As a matter of fact, boxing used to be a sport. Now it's a business. And this type of stuff just shows you how it's just a business now. Um, but you have people that train as children. Boxing takes away your childhood. You have to be dedicated if you want to become one of the elite, a world champion one day. Uh, and there's a lot of things that you can't do, when you're training to become one of the best fighters you could possibly be. There's so many steps that Jake Paul has skipped, um, regardless of his improvement over 5 years. I just don't think it's right for the WBA to rank him in the top 15. It's crazy to me. Um, Especially, now this is my opinion, when he hasn't fought credible fighters. Almost everybody that he's fought has either been retired for so long, or undersized, or older. Now, if you're cool with him fighting Mike Tyson, I don't understand that. Mike Tyson was dang near 60 years old, stumbled getting into the ring. Um, I wasn't cool with that, but that's just me. This is how I feel. And to fight a fight right after that against another person who he was a former world champion, but there's there's the word former. He's not anymore, and we know that Chavez Jr. does not show up. Strategically picked opponents. The one time he fights a guy his age and his size, and not even a good fighter at that, professional boxer, yeah, and he was, somewhat active, was Tommy Fury. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought that fight could have been a draw. But, they gave it to Tommy Fury. But what happened when he fought someone his size, his height, his age, and an actual boxer? And I would have more respect for Jake if he would have stayed at that type of level when he fought Tommy Fury, but he didn't. He started taking steps back, fighting MMA fighters and older fighters again, and fighters that are pretty much washed up, and he's even fought other athletes from other sports. You know, people tend to forget about Nate Robinson. People tend to forget about the basketball player that he fought. You know, but to rank him for the WBA to rank him, man, it's to me it's disrespectful to the sport and to all the young up and coming fighters that are doing their best to become prospects and to become contenders, and just because they don't have the popularity or the money, they have to go through it the hard way. So I'm just speaking for all up and coming boxers in this aspect. Jake Paul's doing Jake Paul. He's gonna make his money. He's gonna do what he does. And there's no hate on that. Um, there's no hate in general on me. I just call it like I see it. Some people agree with me, some people don't. But if I had a sit down talk with the WBA, um, they would not hear much good from me, because I would tell them that that's what you're doing is disgraceful. It's disrespectful and it's not cool. Um, I mean, come on, man. It's just blatant, right in your face. Boxing is not a sport anymore. It's a business. It is a business. Um, I really don't know what else to say about the situation. I haven't watched a live Jake Paul event in some time now. And if I do, it's because of the undercard. I think the best thing about Jake Paul's fights is the undercards are amazing. And he has done a lot for Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor and a lot of female fighters. Um, but man, I just your opponents, your record is padded, man. Strategically picked. And I think a handful of those fighters were paid to lose. I do believe that he has some legit wins over some fighters, but I believe some of those fighters were paid to lose. This is my opinion. You can get mad if you want, but I was asked to make this video. I didn't want to make it. I really don't. I was like, man, since you want to see it, I'm gonna do it, and there it is. I don't think he should be ranked nowhere in any sanctioned body as a professional boxer unless he has earned it, and I do not feel like he's earned it. That's just my opinion. I want to know yours. Respect all, fear none, and God bless.